Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to show you how to put together a Thinlits card, but the designer series paper I know has been flummoxing a few people, so I wanted to show you how to put that part together as well. And obviously because it's an advent countdown, it had to be a Christmassy card. So this is one that I've already shown on my blog, which is using the winter frost paper, but you know me, I like to do something different. So I'm going to show you one using the Seasons of Style paper this time. So I'm going to put this right out of the way because I need to bring my big shot in, but you can see it's so cool. How cool is that? I've left this bit blank because that's where you would write your greeting, because otherwise you'd have to put it on the back of the card, and I don't like doing that on cards that I send. So I'm going to show you how to put this one together. Right, let me put that right out of the way and bring in my big shot, and I'm going to excuse me, show you the Thinlits card dies themselves. And there are two that have come out. I mean, if you're following me on YouTube, there's a good chance that you're probably following demonstrators who are in America. Let me just turn it around so that it sits. So you will have seen these. These aren't actually new, but they are new to us here in the UK. So this is the circle card dies, and it comes with the larger piece, which is what you cut your card blank with, and then loads of extra dies as well, to make decorations and embellishments and what have you. So I'm just going to pop that to one side and bring in the label card dies, which is this one here. So again, you can see the big frame here, that's the card die, and then you can put frames on it. And these two here, this one here and this one here, have got score lines, so you can actually make pop-up banners as well. But I'm not using this set today. I'm going to use this one. So you don't have to use your magnetic platform. It will help. Let me just tilt it so it's away from the spotlights. It will help because it will keep your Thinlit die in place, but it's not essential. You could use post-it notes as we've always traditionally done. I do like my magnetic platform, and I'm a cheat, and if I can make my life simpler, then I will. I've got a piece of cardstock. Now I've just chopped a piece of A4 cardstock down to 6 inches because I wanted just a tiny little bit of overlap. And you pop your die on. You can hear it snapping into place with the magnet platform. Pop it into place so that there's an edge all the way round, and make sure it's all on the platform. So I've got my platform, my cutting plate, my cardstock, my die. I'm going to put another cutting plate over the top, and you just push, and it's ever so slightly off camera, you can hopefully see it just here. I'm pushing until my handle starts moving, and that's the point you grab it, and you hear all the clicks and the clunks, and that's lots of pressure being put on the plastic plates. Send it through. Because these are thin, and cardstock, all of our cardstock, if you're using a paper variety, it's worth going through a second time, just in case it doesn't completely cut through, because obviously there's pressure is being distributed slightly differently. So I'm going to cut one of those and pop that out, and you can see, actually, you know what, there you go, I can show you how to do this because it hasn't completely cut there, but I'll come back to that in a second because I want to do a paper version as well. I can line that up. I'm trying to line my spots up as well so I don't get wibbly spots. There we go. So I'm just going to push that through and grab the handle, whoops, and send that through. And then because this is paper, this I'm definitely going to send through twice. Right. I'm going to move the big shot right out of the way. I'm going to line up my grid paper again. Right, pop this one out. And yes, we've caught ever so slightly on one side there as well as here. This isn't an error or a problem with the die, it's actually just because I didn't put a shim in, which is sometimes, like I say, you do need a little bit of extra assistance with some cardstocks because they're thicker and they're heavier, and all you do, hopefully you can see that I'm literally just trimming. And if you don't know what a shim is, basically it's just an extra piece of cardstock that, there we go, that it just adds that extra layer. And like I say, it's not an issue with the dies. It will happen with lots, and it also depends on how much you've worked your cutting plates. Mine are well and truly bashed and battered. So let me
just trim that bit. There we go. Right. Okay, so what you need to do now, because this card here and now the mat that's going over the top are exactly the same size, and we want the nice little border around, you bring in your trimmer and you take off 1/8 of an inch, or about 2 millimeters rather, on all 4 sides. So let me nick off a smidgen on this side, and I'm taking it here, so I've pushed it over slightly that side, so tiny bit there, tiny bit there. Oops, turn that over. Tiny bit there, and I can't remember which way round I did. Which way round was I going? I need to take a bit off the top. So I turned my paper over. So that's now made it smaller than this part, but also I want to remove the centre panel here, and if you can see when you're looking at yours, you will see that the score lines are here, which is how you bend it. You can't see it because it's spotty, you're just going to have to trust me, and you just, no, I can't see them myself. I've lost them. It's my spotlights on my desk. There we go. If I fold it, that might help. So all you do, I'm going to have to turn this over, the spots are too much for me, and you line up your score lines and just remove. So that's that bit gone, and the same here. I'm just lining up my score lines again, and whip that bit off, and that now will fit nicely there. Hopefully you can see that, and the same there. So that is how you create that panel there. I move all of my little trimmed bits and pieces out of the way and fold these score lines. And I want to fold them backwards and forwards a couple of times, just because it will help the swing of the card when you're opening and closing it. So there we go. So that's how it will look. Got my snail. So I'm going to take my DSP and line it up. So the same as you would do any kind of mat and layer on a card. You just offset it. And the same on this one. Do not glue it to your grid paper. It's never a good idea. Line that one up as well. So that's the DSP layer. Now it just so happens that 2 of our punches are absolutely perfect for matching this. The 2.5 inch circle and the 2 3/8 scallop. So I'm going to punch with another spare bit 2 of the big 2.5 inch circles out of the spotty paper, and they are going to go on either side of this flip. So they're going to go there. Look at that, perfect nesting. We love this. This is what makes Stampin' Up such genius. It really is. Everything coordinates. And this is actually soft suede cardstock I've got going on here, because it's one of these little spots. That's crumb cake, old olive, cherry cobbler, and then this one is soft suede. Obviously I have to do a little bit of stamping, and I've lost it, got prepped under here a stamp from the Wishing You set, and I'm just taking this one here and I'm going to stamp it twice in cherry cobbler. I want it fairly middle, and then I want one closer to the bottom. So I'm going to punch this one out with the scallop. Then I've got my word window punch, and I'm just going to pop out the wishing you bit. So there we go. And then I want another scallop circle, because obviously that's the bit that you're going to write on. I have another one of those. So snail on the back of one, because I want this completely flat on here, because you don't want to be writing on something that's been popped up with dimensionals, because you'd just wibble and it wouldn't be good. This one here, I've got to get my sponge out. There we go. Just sponge up the edges of this. Oh, stick your thumb in it. Do you know what? I've stuck my thumb on that. I'm going to do another one. Another piece of card. Let's try that again. I'm going to clean my thumb. There we go. Right. So, let's try that again. Do not stick your thumb in your ink pad before picking up your piece of card. Sponge the edges. Lightly sponge the edges of this one, and I like this font that's on here. It's kind of a retro diner sort of font, which is kind of how I sort of went with this retro sort of paper in the background, because just sort of a 50s diner. I could imagine it, you know, set up in neon lights. So I've got some dimensionals, and I just want the edge of this one here to go behind. Put one on there. Pop that one over to cover that. Just lifts it slightly. I have a few on the back of this. Pop that one on here. Now I'm going to do a little bit more punching as well, and I'm actually going to bring in a set that isn't in the catalogue, but it is on carryover because it was very popular last year, and it's the Merry Minis set, and it's got, I've lost the other one, where is it? Tiny little Christmas tree, a little star, and a tiny little bauble, and I want to use the star, and I love this. I mean, you know me, I love my punches. And I'm always happy if I can punch something, so I wanted to show you those because, like I say, they're not in the catalogue, but they are available. And they're definitely available online. How many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I'm going to have 6 of those, and I'm going to use mini glue dots to stick those on. Just sort of fairly randomly. 3 down at the bottom, and 3 up at the top. And then some rhinestones, which I've put somewhere and I've lost. Some rhinestones on everything, just in the middle, and I think this then turns into a very gorgeous card. And yes, it's a longer video than I would normally do, but you know, that's okay. But I wanted to show you really also how to fix a problem. Not, like I say, it's not an error with the dies. It could quite possibly be operator error. I will accept responsibility for that. But sometimes, you know, if your cutting plates are a bit battered, you might need to add in an extra shim. But if you don't know that until after you've cut your cardstock, at least you now know how to fix it. So anyway, there's my cute little Thinlit Christmas card, my original one in the Winter Frost.
It's so lovely, so cute. And how to layer your DSP with your Thinlits. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you like it. Do order your Thinlits. You know how to order them through me, and I hope to speak to you soon. Bye.